Hi, we're Group 7, and our problem was internet access in rural areas. My name is Alex Basto.
I'm Zach Israel, second team member of the innovation team.
And I'm Amanda Donahue. Okay, so we have a model of what a rural town would look like, and we have some homes and the community hospital as well as the school, and out in this area we have the cowboys. So this town just represents what a rural community would look like without broadband connection. So our group worked through the process of figuring out an innovation to solve our problem, and one of the first steps that we came across was thinking of the different conditions that would help us come up with a solution. So we got a diverse group of people to think of ideas and work together. We also engaged in some online activities, such as we had our own innovation jam, and we worked with Second Life and getting some other opinions. We also knew we needed to create an idea that would be realistic in coming up with a innovation and that would really help solve this problem. And the last thing that we worked on was keeping a strategy that would reach our end result and solve the problem.
We began by doing some research and discussing with each other some possible solutions. What came out of these talks and through our research is a few options. We thought one way to go would be to build internet towers, much like cell phone towers or telephone lines, that could relay the signal out to the rural areas. We also looked at developing a project to extend the fiber optic cable network that runs into major cities all the way out to the smaller towns. One of us also came up with the idea of developing a satellite network that could relay the signal from one place to another and perhaps move it out to the smaller towns in an efficient manner. And then we also talked about developing a sort of attachment to existing towers. We ended up liking this idea because we thought it would be a lot less expensive to add an attachment to towers than to build towers from scratch.
After our innovation jam using Second Life, our conclusions were that big city people do not think about rural and poor areas having a problem with internet or even not having internet at all. We found this to be a huge problem of cultural fragmentation. Adding internet towers was the least appealing to most of the internet users in the rural and poor areas. The reason for this was that they already pay a very high price for internet. They also don't have the best internet reception. All they really want is clear and cheaper internet. We talked to a few people around the local cities, and one said, "I rarely think about not having internet. When I do, it scares me." A local Starbucks person. We also talked to a few farmers from the other end of the spectrum. We have internet and we use it every day, but we'd really like our co-workers to have it. We also talked to a few people in a poor region of North Carolina, Robeson County, where UNC Pembroke is. We think that the internet use here is great, but the only problem is that UNC Pembroke is the only place that they have internet access here. There's no public libraries, no internet cafes, and most of the people here can't afford it on their own.
So after our brainstorming session and after our communication with people through our innovation jam and even on Second Life, one solution kind of showed that it had the most potential, and that was building directional wireless internet transmitters and attach them to existing infrastructure such as telephone lines or cell phone towers. We thought this was the most economically possible because it would cut costs by not having to build entire towers. And the directional signal could bounce from one transmitter to the next and then get to a town center where you could diffuse the signal out to a lot more users.
We really want to link everybody together without making them pay any more than they already do. We have secondly found that building internet cafes will tremendously help with the poor areas. We have found that there are a very limited number of computers there, making it really hard for use. In the libraries, there's only 3 or 4 computers in smaller towns. Adding a few of these internet cafes in rural towns will really help with the internet access at a very low cost.
What we have here is basically a prototype of what one of our transmitters would look like that we would attach to the either cell phone towers or telephone lines or power cable lines. It would basically just be a small module like this that's capable of sending the internet in one specific direction. It would basically go to the next terminal that looks just like this on another cell phone tower or telephone pole and relay it out to a town center. You'll also notice that at the top it has a solar panel attached to it. We figure since it's high up in the air, it should have clear visibility to the sky and get lots of sun, especially here in North Carolina. And that would further save costs on energy.
Go.
And those modules would transmit the internet signal to central towers located near a hospital or a school or a library, some central point in the town where everything's based around. And then the homes would have these smaller receivers set up on their roofs to essentially catch the internet signal for home use if the family there had a computer in the home.
So after creating our solution to the problem, we came up with some last minute things that we needed to think about. One was how this operation would be funded. So the first thing we thought of was government financing, which we'd go and hopefully get grants to finance this, and also the government has packages like this already in the works that could fund projects like this, so we think this would be a great option for some of their funding. The next thing that we thought about was what better education this would bring to the towns and what more opportunities this would bring to the towns as well.
And now we revisit our town, transformed by the internet. You notice more computers in more places, as well as our transmitters that are delivering the internet wirelessly from the fiber optic network and from the larger cities.
As you can see, there are 3 different transmitters throughout the town that are spreading the internet access, as well as in one of the homes, so the family is being able to connect to the internet in their home computer. Also in the town, we have had a internet cafe move in, as well as some better access throughout the rural parts of the town.
On the more rural side of the area, we have a transmitter very close, and we also have a transmitter farther out, which the tower transmits to both of these, which both families on the rural part of the town can have much better access, and it doesn't cost them any more a month than it generally would. Our school is very close, so they have perfect internet reception. They have more computers. The hospital is very, very close to this tower also, and it also has very good internet access, whereas before it had not so great internet reception.
We think this is the most appropriate solution to the problem of low internet access in rural areas, and we hope you think this is an innovative solution to this problem.